Did you know that some of the biggest names in wrestling have lives just as dramatic as their matches? Take Jerry the King Lawler, for example. He's a legend in the ring, but his story off camera is a roller coaster of highs and lows, filled with controversies that'll make your jaw drop. Jerry O'Neil Lawler, better known as Jerry the King Lawler, was born on November 29, 1949. He's a well-known figure in the world of professional wrestling and is currently a color commentator for WWE, where he has a Legends contract. Before he joined the World Wrestling Federation in 1992, Jerry wrestled in many regions, winning many championships throughout his career. Notably, he won the AWA World Heavyweight Championship once, and the WCWA World Heavyweight Championship 3 times. One of his significant achievements was combining these titles by defeating Kerry Von Erich at Superclash III, which led to the creation of the USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship, a title Jerry held an impressive 28 times. Apart from his wrestling skill, Jerry Lawler is also famous for his feud with comedian Andy Kaufman. Their rivalry gained so much attention that it was featured in the 1999 Jim Carrey movie, Man on the Moon, where Jerry played himself. Jerry was also inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2007. Crazy, right? But this legend's life is not free from controversies. Back in 1993, a major controversy hit when Lawler was accused of sexual assault involving a minor. The serious charge brought a lot of bad publicity. Even though the charges were dropped after the accuser took back her statement, this incident still casts a shadow over Lawler's career. Fans and commentators often struggle to reconcile his wrestling persona with these off-ring accusations, impacting how they see his legacy. Lawler's time as a commentator has also stirred up trouble. He's been called out for making comments that were seen as racist, sexist, or just plain insensitive. These remarks have offended viewers and sometimes led to public backlash and tense relationships with his colleagues. This side of Lawler contrasts sharply with the fun, entertaining character he usually plays. Additionally, Lawler's involvement in various wrestling storylines has often been controversial. He's known for pushing the boundaries of taste and decency, sparking debate among fans and critics. Some people admire his ability to engage audiences and generate reactions, while others think he sometimes goes too far, contributing to a culture in wrestling that's seen as over-the-top or offensive. These controversies have shaped Lawler's public image in 2 ways. On one hand, they've cemented him as someone who isn't afraid to push limits and challenge norms, earning him a notable place in wrestling history. On the other hand, they've painted him as a figure surrounded by scandal and questionable decisions, which some believe undermines the sport's integrity and his contributions to it. Nevertheless, this man is a legend, and you can't go a minute without knowing what he actually did and how he made history. Jerry's wrestling career started in an unexpected way. While working as a DJ in Memphis, his artistic skills got the attention of wrestling promoter Aubrey Griffith. They made a deal. Jerry would promote Griffith's wrestling events on his radio show in exchange for free wrestling training. Jerry first stepped into the ring in 1970 and won his first championship in a battle royal in September 1971. Soon he teamed up with Jim White, managed by Sam Bass, and won the NWA Southern Tag Team Championship. By 1974, Jerry had a rivalry with his mentor, Jackie Fargo, and beat him to win the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship, earning the nickname King of Wrestling. Initially a villain, Jerry became a good guy after parting ways with Sam Bass at the end of that year. In 1977, Jerry Jarrett, a wrestling promoter, started the Continental Wrestling Association, CWA. After leaving NWA Mid-America, Jerry, the biggest star at the time, joined Jarrett. The CWA soon became more popular than NWA Mid-America, which closed in 1981. Jerry not only wrestled but also co-owned CWA, becoming its top star. A highlight of Jerry's career was his 1982 feud with comedian Andy Kaufman, who called himself the intergender heavyweight champion and wrestled women in his acts. Their famous feud included a match where Jerry used 2 pile drivers on Kaufman, sending him to the hospital. The rivalry gained TV attention when Jerry slapped Kaufman on Late Night with David Letterman, leading to Kaufman throwing coffee at him. It turned out the hostility was all an act, and they were actually good friends. Jerry joined the American Wrestling Association, AWA, and won the AWA International Championship, fighting intense battles, including one with Bill Dundee. He won the AWA World Heavyweight Championship from Curt Hennig on May 9, 1988, and defeated Kerry Von Erich in December 1988 at Superclash III, unifying two titles. Through the late 80s and 90s, Jerry wrestled in various promotions, becoming a 28-time USWA Unified World Heavyweight Champion and having memorable feuds that cemented his legendary status. Jerry Lawler's influence in wrestling is clear through his titles, rivalries, and his crossover into mainstream entertainment, making him a wrestling icon. Jerry Lawler hasn't just been wrestling, he's done a bit of everything. Back in the late 70s, he recorded a couple of music singles, like Cadillac Man in Memphis, and another one titled Bad News. He even got involved in a musical feud with Jimmy Hart during the 80s, leading to a funny song called Wimpbusters, based on the Ghostbusters theme. The music video for this was a real crowd pleaser, featuring a bunch of wrestling stars and even a very young Brian Christopher. Besides his music ventures, Lawler hosted his own talk show in Memphis during the 80s. He also stepped into the movie scene with a role in Man on the Moon, alongside Jim Carrey. Filming got a bit heated when Carrey, staying in character, spat on Lawler, who responded by putting Carrey in a sleeper hold. Yep, that sent Carrey straight to the hospital. Lawler also tried his hand at politics, running for mayor of Memphis twice, in 1999 and 2009, but didn't manage to win. He's quite the artist too, doing commercial graphics for WWE and others, and even painted the cover for the wrestling comic book Headlocked. Gaming-wise, Lawler's voice has been a staple in many WWE video games, and he's been both a playable character and a commentator in them. On the business front, he's opened up a couple of spots in Memphis, a wrestling-themed bar and grill and a barbecue restaurant. He's also ventured into podcasting, starting with Dinner with the King and moving on to the Jerry Lawler Show after some hiccups with his first co-host. Quite the varied career, right? And in the end, all I can say is that Jerry Lawler isn't just another wrestler. He's a true legend in the world of professional wrestling. His career is full of big wins and unforgettable moments that have made a lasting impact on the sport. Known for his dynamic presence in the ring and his ability to entertain, Lawler has brought wrestling to the mainstream, especially with his famous feud with comedian Andy Kaufman. This rivalry wasn't just about wrestling. It was a theatrical performance that captivated audiences nationwide. Outside the ring, Jerry's life has been just as colorful. He's tried his hand at everything from music to acting and even ran for mayor a couple of times. Despite facing some serious controversies and personal challenges, his influence on wrestling remains undeniable. He's known for really connecting with the audience, whether he's playing the bad guy or the hero. Jerry Lawler's journey through the highs and lows of his career shows just how complex and thrilling the world of wrestling can be. He's not only entertained millions with his wrestling moves, but also sparked conversations about the sport's cultural impact. For those who love wrestling or are just curious about the stars behind the scenes, Jerry Lawler's story is a must-know. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more stories about wrestling's greatest icons.